It's one thing to sit and to speak prophetically and to warn and warn and warn, as women in particular, mock you and say, I don't know what's going on with the dishcloth on her head. I've heard it all. Oh, the witch is back. I see people. Oh, so the demons prophesy now. This video is for women first and foremost, but it's for you fathers. And it's for you, most dangerous of all, you brothers, you best friends, you bros, you group chat havers, you that are going to stand before the King with blood on your hands one day. If there's one group that this video is for more than the women, it's for you men. You naked Adams who don't know how to cover. You naked Adams, you are naked. You have lost your glory. You don't know how to hold one another accountable. You don't know how far is too far. You lack the moral foundation and the basic etiquette to know how far is too far. Your lust has taken over you. You are ruled by the delusional fantasies that are, the fantasies are operating at the top of your head, but in the basement of your genitals, that's where the fire and the heat starts. And you can't tell the difference, and you think that you are interpreting it as God told me. You men out there, naked Adams who don't know how to cover. God will take the ether out of you and you will go exactly where the uncareful woman goes, the negligent woman goes, the oblivious woman goes, the one who goes out and thinks that she is supposed to entrust her safety to others. My girls are with me. My girls will look after me. My girls are here. We're turning up what could go wrong. I'm talking to you moms who don't check your daughters' phones. You're watching your roses grow up, and by age 14, they start to wilt, and you don't know what's wrong. You don't know that your daughter has become the latest victim of the group chat. I don't really have a format. I only have a few things written down. But I'm telling you that if you don't pay attention, women, and I'm telling you, men, if you continue to think that that disgusting heat inside you is what God created you to navigate by, to give in to what you want so bad that you are willing to appear a psychopath in modern society. And then when you are rejected, to turn around and all of a sudden become like Moses on the high mountain. God wanted me to see how crazy she was. God wanted me to see what was really going on with her, bro. You start off a worshiper, and then when you are rebuffed, all of a sudden the woman is crazy. She's crazy, bro. She's crazy. She's insane, bro. 1 + 1 always equals 2. The fury of a woman, it doesn't stir up easy. And you cannot be so infantile, David Faulks, that you would think that my fury was stirred up because I'm naturally crazy and not because you came near me, you wild animal, and stirred it up by your sick and improper actions. That's all I have by way of introduction. The Lord has a message to bring. That's why I'm under my mantle. I was going to make this prophecy without the mantle because the way that I hate to bring my flesh anywhere near this business, For this is the business of Jesus Christ. The Master's Voice Prophecy blog is a place of business. And so I'm sitting here under my mantle because the Lord told me to wear it. Because my function, my calling, my purpose is a car prepared for me before I was born. The calling was prepared before I was prepared. The calling existed in the mind of God to be his end times messenger before he then took clay and knit me together in my mother's belly. In the darkness of her, I was formed. And for that woman to be afraid because of you and to cry and to tell me, sweetheart, every time you put that camera on, my heart leaves my body. And for you to show up and make it worse. May the Lord repay into your life the seed that you thought you had the right to sow. I'm under my mantle and I'm here in my call in my office. I would have come just as a normal woman, brethren, a child of God like anybody else, but the Lord told me, wear it when you go out, because not only are you speaking from me, the reason I am here to speak about something that has been going on since for about 3 years, in addition to the abuse, in the addition to the mocking and the scoffing, in addition to the reaction videos, in addition to the doxing, in addition to the racial hatred, in addition to the disrespect from the Black community, who still are capable of racial hatred. The reason I'm under the mantle and not just here as myself is because it was the Lord who was the final linchpin. Yes, I got the advice. Yes, I got the wise counsel. Yes, without telling the circle around me what I felt I should do. The people who pray for me, without telling them what to say, I allowed them to speak. And everyone was in agreement except myself. And the only reason that I'm here in the mantle is because when I was still conflicted what to do, the Lord said to me, Celestial, how do you know the pains of Isaiah? And how do you know the woes of Jeremiah? Jeremiah suffered so much and he cried so much that he's known as the weeping prophet. I'm not the weeping prophet. I'm known as the hateful nigger who hates America. I'm known as the lying serpent. I'm known as the prophetic witch. I'm known as Satan knows the Bible too, you know. The Lord said, how do you know Jeremiah's pain? How do you know that he was slapped, Celestial? How do you know that they put him into the toilet, the basement where all the human waste used to run until he was in the foul sewer water up to his waist? How do you know that he cried? How do you know that I once told him to buy land in his personal capacity, not as the prophet? And that's when my brain unlocked and I understand what God was telling me. I said, Lord, because he wrote it. He said, yes. The prophet's experience is intertwined with the prophet's path. You cannot separate the pains you suffer for the ministry from the ministry, because I was adamant and telling everyone to speak of this will shame God. I said it will shame him. I cannot be the one that shames him. Let them shame him. Let them mock him. Let them say that I am false, thereby rejecting his voice to them. But I said, I cannot pick up a rock to stone him as they stoned him. If I post this, I shame him. If I post him, I bring the pains of my flesh to contaminate my work, my labor. I shame him. Many answers were given There's one wise woman that said, Celestial, you cannot keep Satan's secret. And it was her voice that connected to what God said to me. You cannot separate the path of what you go through for the work from the work. Because Jeremiah freely wrote everything that happened to him. He wrote about how they slapped him. He wrote about how his own brothers met with the leaders of Israel to decide how to get rid of him. His family wanted to kill him. He was an embarrassment because everywhere they went and they tried to be cool and relaxed, it's like, aren't you Jeremiah's brothers? He was an eyesore. They thought it was better that their brother, the prophet of God, be dead. And then people stopped talking about him so they could get the family name back, you see. His flesh and blood went to meet with the leaders in Israel to talk about how to kill him. And that is a picture of how many of you women, I'm telling you what God showed me. I don't care how long this video will be. Many of you women, when you leave this earth, the truth about why you're not here will be in the group chat, and your blood brother will not give it to the cops. God said that you will leave this earth and you won't even get the dignity of having it solved and having that guy who is your brother's friend, the one who took you off this earth after raping your body, using it in the front and the back. I'm going to say everything. God was telling me that you won't even get the dignity of becoming a solved case. He said that you will leave this earth a cold case file, but the key to unfreeze your cold case, your brother's going to die with it in his hand. He's never going to tell the cops that he knows exactly which of the friends. The word that God was showing me, hitting my brain with like a hammer, it was a word that only black men use. She's thick though. She's some kind of thick though. It means voluptuous. It means well built. It means well endowed. Enough chest, enough hips and thighs. Some men even like the woman to have a little bit of a belly. Some men even like to have those pudgy arms. Men are different. They like different things. The man was saying, a black man, but she's some kind of thick though. And all the brother would say is, yo, boss, that's my sister. That's my sister. And the brother thought nothing of that lust grinding verbally on his sister. He thought nothing of it until she didn't come home. I'm telling you things that God was hitting my pained mind. I'm spitting brown stuff into the napkin, the paper towel today. And it's still there because of how much I screamed, because of the injustice of the police department of New York. I'm not one where, I can't speak. It'll affect the case. I don't care. I'm not going to keep Satan's secrets. Your brother is going to know what happened to you. Your cousin is going to know who did it. But he's going to keep the bro code. He's going to keep the bro code. Bros before hoes. Right, black men? Not if you've done it. Not if you've done your niece dirty by keeping the bro code. Not older man with a gray in his beard. Not if in your youth or even now in your 60s, you've kept the bro code and some woman is crying at her house. Or worse, she's dead. The dead don't cry. Not if you've got the sins of the bro code on your hands. Not if you've done it. You criminal. You wicked. You Romans chapter 132. You that may not do the thing, but you approve of the thing. Knowing that the thing deserves death, you approve of it, and you forget that those who support what deserves death, the Bible says you deserve death too. Imagine, women, all your mother's prayers over her belly when you were coming out. The joy when she brought you out, she looked in your eyes. All her time, her effort, her meals. My mother's time, her effort, her meals. My mama cooks good. Poured into your belly. And then sometimes because of your own actions, but also sometimes when you're doing absolutely nothing wrong, you end up the victim of a penis that you don't even know. What bitterness is this on the earth in the last days? What bitterness and gall and the taste of blood in your mouth because of screaming, because that's all your soul can do in the moment, to see someone who is 6'7", 270 pounds of sheer basketball playing muscle, coked up on mental hospital medication, sitting outside your door, right outside it. You've been sitting in your apartment all day, hearing his voice booming in the halls. You've been sitting in your apartment quiet, talking to your family, talking to your network, telling them, text me, don't call me. I can't give any sign that I'm in my home because I'm in my home. Because it crawled off the internet and came to the door because it said that God told it that I'm supposed to marry it. I'm just a tomato sitting here on the internet. For all you men, and you know yourselves, you've been doing it for every single second that I'm here. The filth, the porn. I dreamt about you. I dreamt about you. God told me. How can God in his holiness tell hundreds of men that one woman is their wife? Is God schizophrenic? You think he lost his iPad? You think he lost his iPad and maybe that's why he doesn't know that I'm not a beast from under the sea that can be cut into 1,000 pieces, like what will happen to Leviathan, and served out to hundreds of men over only 6 years? Is it possible for hundreds of men to all be correct and convinced that Celestial was shown to them? She's his. She's his. No, she's his. No, she's his. No, she's his. No, she's yours, David Faulks. She's yours. She's yours. God has no respect for Celestial. God has no plan for her. He just shaped her and made her and said, well, here's a little bit of a face. Here's a little bit of a gift. Here's a little bit of this and of that. Go forth and entice the male universe. You belong to them all. Trapped in your own house because the Black Hawk has sat himself down outside your house, refusing to leave, and you can hear him through the walls, and your neighbors are walking up and down the stairs having to tell him, excuse me, please. Why? Because the genius plan is to block the stairs. If she already left before I came in, too bad. She's not coming home. She's not going to make the door without seeing me. She's in the house, though. She can't leave without seeing me. You're gonna see me. You ignore 1 year of emails I never saw. Emails I never saw. I have almost 12K emails, and I'm only in the inbox for the people who have babies in distress. Sister Celestial, my baby don't talk. Give me a prayer. Prophetess Celestial, things are moving around in the house. Give me a prayer. I'm trying to work through more email than I will ever finish in my life. The emails are at 11,700 requests. Some are just saying, how can I bless you? If you know you've contacted me and it's been 6 months, 9 months, a year, and you've never heard a word out of me, it's not because I hate you, and it's not because I don't want you to be a blessing. It's because some of your brothers and sisters have been unemployed for 4 years, and they're at the point of suicide from the shame. They're wondering if they're broken human beings. They're wondering what's wrong with them. They're wondering why they can't get jobs, why they can't get married. They're wondering why they're getting raped by spiritual entities at night. I'm trying to tend to them as you are trying to tend to me, but I have to prioritize, and their life slipping away from them, their hope slipping away from them is more important than you being able to sow a blessing back to me. I appreciate you, but it's just that I have to prioritize because 11,000 people is a lot. A year of emails, a year of somebody just looking at you and making plans for you that you don't know about. How many times have I said to you women, the man you thought you met today, he's known you for a year. It just used to come out of my mouth. It comes out of my mouth even in real life when I'm talking to women. Be careful. That first encounter, that's your first. That's not his first. He's memorized your Facebook. He knows your mom, your dad, your grandma. He's gone to volunteer at the same place your grandma volunteers. He knows her by face. He's waiting to see her pick up a heavy box at the shelter so he can go over and say, I'll get that for you. What a nice young man. Kind young man. We don't have young men like you nowadays. He wants to strike up a friendship with grandma because he knows that grandmas are some of the biggest supporters of unmarried women. He knows grandma's going to call one day and say, Stuart's a great guy. I really think you should come and volunteer. And she's going to pester her granddaughter until the granddaughter comes to the shelter. And that will be the granddaughter's first time meeting somebody who knows her Facebook page, her TikTok page, her YouTube channel backwards.
This is a word for the women of the Most High, okay? I need y'all to listen to me very carefully, okay? Because I know a lot of y'all been plowing for husbands and plowing for a man in your life, right? I need y'all to understand something here. If a regular dad, as strict as he is, giving his daughter over to a male, you need to understand why Yahuwah is extremely serious about giving his daughter over to a male that she has to submit to. Do you understand that Yahuwah has to make sure that that man is on a level that he's actually doing the will of the Father? So if a regular dad is on that type of energy where he's like, you're not dating my daughter, I'm not playing about my daughter, don't you think the Most High think the same way on a bigger spiritual scale? This is your soul. This is his daughter's soul.
Who's making decisions for you the way David Faulks was making decisions for me? Where does Prophetess want to live? Where should me and the boys build her house? We'll build a house for her anywhere on this earth. Because that's what delusion does.
Signs you are delusional. 1. You see meaning or messages where none were intended. Neutral events feel personally significant or symbolic. Coincidences feel too precise to ignore. 2. You're convinced your interpretation is the only possible truth. Alternative explanations feel not just wrong, but impossible. Disagreement feels like ignorance, not difference. 3. You believe others just don't see it yet. You view yourself as more aware or enlightened than most people. Disagreement reinforces your your belief instead of challenging it. 4. You rely heavily on intuition over reality checks. Gut feelings override logic, evidence, or feedback. 5. You feel unusually certain without verifiable proof. Your confidence comes from conviction, not confirmation. Doubt feels unnecessary or suspicious. 6. You explain inconsistencies with increasingly complex logic. Instead of simplifying, explanations become more elaborate. The story grows to protect the belief. 7. You struggle to consider probability. Unlikely scenarios feel just as plausible as common ones.
Delusional is believing something that is clearly false, even when strong evidence of the truth is right in front of you.
You always know that somebody's a couple bricks shy of a wall. When the conversations in their head supply their part and your part, you don't exist. You're actually just a proxy. You're just a rag doll. You're a dummy. He's the man. He's going to make decisions for you. He's going to work hard. He wants to give you everything. If you don't want that everything, and you're crazy. You're crazy. Men, you are slaves to lust. And he says, the men are basically in chains to lust. So then you just sit and let your libido rise. And you know what, men, you certainly have a lot to look at, given the culture, given the climate that we're in. Highly sexualized culture. If you know, for instance, that it's going to rain on a Tuesday, are you stepping outside on Tuesday with no umbrella, no slicker, nothing?
Don't let these girls cast spells on you.
You know what the gym is like. Stripper central, some gyms.
Yep.
So then what are you doing? Do you have the intentionality that when you go there, I have made a covenant with my eyes that I will not stare at these women of loose morals. I will look at myself in the mirror.
Yep.
Especially since I don't want them crying wolf and putting me on TikTok and saying I'm a predator. A man whose lust has got you knows exactly the role that you should play. And don't you dare not play it. Because the minute you play it, you go from being the goddess that he created in his feverish 122 Fahrenheit temperature brain, and you become the devil. If you scream when the cops are there because the absolute terror that he got into a building, that is buzzer only, which means that he hung around the front until Amazon came in or until someone was going out. But when he was talking in the group chat, it was like, someone let me in. Who let you in? Nobody let you in, because you freaked out the entire building when the cops came and they realized that somebody of your size, David Faulks, had managed to get in. My neighbors were having secondhand PTSD with the thought that everybody saw you and everybody thought you belonged there, because everybody thought you came to see somebody else. Because we never buzz anybody in. We don't even buzz UPS into this building. If it's not your package, you're not getting in. We always say, please buzz the right apartment. Thank you. Everybody thought that you were here for somebody else. Whose brother is that? I don't know. It's probably here to see someone else. Walking through the building, internet. Walking through the building, taking pictures of our doors, boasting that he knows my door and my floor. She once mentioned in a video, right? She mentioned in a video, see me, I'm serving God. God has given me a heart to let me know to pray for my neighbors outside. My neighbors, the Haitian church, Celestial's on the internet. She's giving the prophecy about ICE. She's being obedient. God showed me the Haitian church that's not far from my house. My enemies, the noisy Haitian church, God bless him. God protect him. Celestial's talking about the Haitian church because she's giving context to who ICE is going to raid. Celestial's future husband is using the church as a navigational device to find her. The house can't be far from the Jamaican. It's a Jamaican church, right? She said it.
stalking is pre-murder. When people stalk you, it comes from a place of resentment. It comes from a place of jealousy. It happens because a person was obsessed with you in some way. Romantic obsession is usually pretty common, right? Idealization, they objectify you, and then you reject them in some way. They get so upset over the fact they can't own you and control you, because for them it wasn't about love, it's about possession. When you reject them, they feel like, well, I have to own you. So obsessed with the idea of controlling people, they will go to any lengths to have control, and that's where stalking comes from. Kind of like this like weird way of thinking where it's like, oh, like if you won't let me have access to you, I'm going to force access into your life. Stalking is one of the few ways that people will do that, because it's kind of this upper hand of like, ha ha ha, like I'm watching you and you don't know it, and there's things about you, you know, that I know that maybe like, I don't know, you don't want people to see, like you're walking around in your house, whatever, you come out the shower, that kind of thing, you know, like it's them kind of feeling that they know something that you don't. Very emotionally immature, but long story short, like for them it feels like a power trip. Thing is that anyone who is willing to dehumanize you enough to stalk, because you have to dehumanize someone, right, in order to sort of feel justified in stalking them. Like it's kind of like tier 1 of like objectification behavior, right? Removing you from like a person with feelings and boundaries, like you are an object and nothing more. The thing is, anyone who's willing to objectify you, that is only a stone throw away from like things like sexual assault. That's a stone throw away from, right?
The guy you meet today has tracked you for a year. When you end up in that cabin in the woods and he can't understand why you're fighting and screaming, she's crazy, bro. I only took her and put her in the back of the Bronco and knocked her out like Ted Bundy, and she woke up in a place unfamiliar and she's tied up and she's screaming, and I'm like, shh, I won't hurt you. I just wanted to talk to you. I said to my mother, Mom, I never knew that movies live. I never knew that movies and plot points that always end in death, 48 hours episode. I said, Mama, I never knew that movies live. And she said, child, don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Because every time you record, my heart leaves my body. This is nobody's business. And a part of me hates that I'm saying it. But the prophet's path is tied up with the path of the prophecies, because she's carrying the prophecies, and as she carries them, she's attracting flies from the pit of hell against her will, sitting at home, eating soup, and singing along to the Prince of Egypt for the 1 millionth time. Somebody's looking for the Jamaican church. There's a church next to your house, right? I hope she's happy. You think she'll be happy to see me? I just love her, man. She was in the same bed with me. Must be a sign from God. We can't meet too soon. There'll be so much heat between us when I say mega jumbo you. When I say, what is my life? What is my life as a child of God? If I'm preaching the gospel and I'm still your masturbation piece, what are we doing? My husband came here, my God ordained, the man that I was ordaining and touching and anointing and kissing and all the things that I would rather eat trash than do. I did them. I laid next to him. The heat between us, such a distraction to his powerful, mimicking, copycat, apostolic call. And my much weaker, untested, no fruit, questionable witchcraft. Is it prophecy or is it world news that she watches? My far more weaker, is it prophecy call? The guy you meet today sitting and blocking the steps outside your apartment like a colossus. Who, when the police came, told them that he was my brother. As I screamed that I don't know him. As I screamed, don't believe him. As I screamed, probably tearing something in my nasal passages and throat. Hey, I earned the blood, you know us crazies. I'm crazy. I'm responsible for why I have no voice. I did it to myself. I'm crazy. God brought the man of God near to see how fake I am, how crazy I am. God brought him near after telling him for who knows how many months, that's your wife. Get up and go, God said. And when I said, because this was the one small mercy, he used PayPal. When he realized that I'm not responding on email because I never saw them, because who has time for emails that are titled, I dreamed about you again? Who has time? Who in their right mind, facing 11,000 requests for help from everywhere, from everywhere around the world, 11,000 abuses, you hateful beep, 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 doo. Get out of the country if you hate it so much. When it was like she's not seeing the emails, and I finally realized that this is the person who was sending me $1 every 5 minutes. How do you know that someone is your God-ordained spouse? I mean, really God-ordained. I mean, like chosen by God, not chosen by yourself, not chosen by your will. The thing pops up on my phone, flick. Like, what is this? What? What am I, the marriage whisperer? I'm busy. I'm at work. I'm busy. There's currently 3 people named David harassing my life. 3. You flick away emails and you just think it's one person. It's 3. We found 3. We found 3. But this one decided to be larger than life.
You want a man of God and a person that is not trying to look at you that way. You have to present yourself in a classy way, in a feminine, woman, godly-like way. That's how you get an actual man to approach you unlustfully.
When demons get into a situation, it gets really bad for you. Nobody touched my flesh. The cops loved on him. Like a little brother, man. They walked him out of here like we were having a barbecue and he had fixed a plate and said he had to go. They merely trespassed him from the building. Then they tried to tell me, we're going to be here downstairs. And I was like, you guys are more useless than the most useless thing that ever drew air. You saw the size of that man. He paralyzed the both of you with fear and you didn't even pull a weapon on him. That's how demons can work the scene. Demons can work the scene better than a detective. So you women, keep 911 on speed dial. 911, they're only here to pump bullets when it's their wife, their daughter. If you're black, forget it. 911 is only active when you're the right color and you say, I fear for my life. They will act. They will book him. They will take him to the station. If he's that big and that black, they would have filled him with 22 bullets. But I had the misfortune to come out a little tan. So they walked Junior out the building and let him go, where he proceeded to start laughing and gloating. Well, I met her. She's crazy, bro. She's crazy. No, she was just momentarily touched with some of the most insane fear I've ever felt. Just momentarily touched in the head with some panic mixed with some, is this for real? Mixed with some, how did he find me? Mixed with some, why is he taking pictures of the inside of our building? and sending it out as bro proof that the eagle had landed. Why is somebody warning me, Miss Celestial? Urgent, warning, Miss Celestial. He's inside your building. And he said that he will not leave. That's what he said to me the day before. I'm here. I'm coming. You're going to see me. I'm an innocent man. I go where God tells me to go. I listen to no man. I don't listen to man. I don't listen to you. Object of my affection. At the same time, your voice is trash in my ears. I don't listen to you. Only Yah tells me where to go and what to do. I do what the master says. We don't have the same master, weirdo.
I remember when the Most High took me to heaven and I asked him a question. I said, what dimension are we in? And he was like, we're in the 5th dimension. Okay. And we were supping together and we were eating. And the craziest part about it was it felt normal. Okay. It felt normal. It just felt like, it was very peaceful. But he asked me a very important question. He said, David, why do you think I won't answer you? Pretty much implying the fact that if I ask him a question, why do I think that he won't answer me? So I remember saying, I just don't hear you sometimes. That's what I told him. Okay. So I just don't hear you sometimes, and then he said, I'm right here. I'm in your temple. Okay. I'm always here talking to you. You know what I'm saying? And his voice became very feminine. I've always told people, God is not a male or a female. Okay. If we're his image, if we are males and females, we represent him. So he can sound like a man or a woman, depending on the situation or how he wants to approach us. Right. And then he gave me, I'm saying he, and then, the Most High gave me a hug. Okay. And said, don't ever think like that again.
Is these people on the internet with the discernment of a dead fly, a fly that's been caught in a thunderstorm of Raid bug spray. You know, Raid is so potent. Raid will destroy your sinuses if you take a full blast to the face. Imagine a tiny little fly caught with a full-on hit of Raid. What kind of discernment do you think that fly will have? That's the discernment of the people who watch David Faulks. Self-appointed apostle, copier of dreams, stalker of women in his spare 6'7", 270 pounds time. I got off lucky. The cops were incompetent, but at least they came. Somebody broke bro code to save me. And Jesus made sure that this man reached out the day before, insisting that he's coming to. How can he not come to our house? He flew 7 to 10 hours. He said so. I didn't fly 7 to 10 hours for you to treat me like this. I'm so disappointed. You're acting just like them. Who's them? I don't know. For all I know, it's all the mysterious women in the past who ran from 6'7". Some of you would kill yourself for 6'7", right? That's what you like. You like them tall. You like them beefy. You like that strength. And it's that strength that will put you in the ground to the point where even your Apple Watch won't be able to connect to the satellite and update itself like that woman whose Apple Watch saved her.
Apple Watch saves wife buried alive by husband, and the man was sentenced for attempted, Y'all can read the rest. So this particular man, Lacey Washington, has been sentenced to 13 years in prison after pleading guilty to second-degree attempted
what are you reporting? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Took her out and beat her brains out, thought that she was dead, threw her in the earth and covered her, but he didn't get her arm. The Apple Watch was able to get a signal. It updated itself, and other people either saw her location on the iPad or saw her location on other devices that were in the phone, and they tracked that woman in that shallow grave using her Apple Steve Jobs invention. He didn't bury the arm too good. It was able to catch sunlight. It was able to catch daylight. I would never record like this. I find it unprofessional to sound like this. I waited the whole day for my voice to come back, and it just got worse, despite all the remedies and improperly trying to rinse whatever this is up there out. I probably cut or tore something from how much I screamed over and over, "What are you doing here?" His interpretation in the chat, even the cops were irritated by her, man. No accountability. Like the gap in the brain is so wide that the Grand Canyon can take notes. No accountability as to why the woman was frantic and upset and screaming. It had nothing to do with his presence inside our private buzzer-only building that he used craft and manipulation to get into. Looking through messages and realizing this man has reached out to everybody that he perceives is close to me. Reached out to everybody that he can perceive might know. Is it the object of his affection or the crazy lady? I'm getting confused on this video. I don't know if I was the goddess he was worshiping or I was the woman that Jesus Christ wanted him to see my crazy side. He built a network. I haven't had time to speak to the people involved in what I'm going to say here. I haven't had time. I'm still dealing with the shame of it. He found out about everybody, and then he went to where they were and presented himself as a sound young man and sat on Pastor Omar Tebow's stage. No, I'm just a young man that loves God, man. I'm just...
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Okay, how you doing?
Good. Good. How are you?
Good. I'm originally from Philadelphia. So, yeah, but I actually came from Orlando.
Okay.
From Colorado, from Michigan, from New Jersey.
Wow.
Okay.
So I went
all over, yeah.
Oh,
east to west.
From east to west, right.
What's your name, brother?
David.
David.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
David. I just want to say real quick, I've never in a million years, I'm not a million years old, but what I thought that I'd be right here. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that the Most High even put people in my life to bring me in this moment to see Pastor Omar live, you know, because I know he has a calling and he's anointed.
Yes.
You know, he really is anointed. And I've been to like 5 churches and I'm like, whoa, this is something that's different here. There's something very different here. All right. So I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash for this, but my thoughts and opinions and my understanding of Dr. Umar I do not hate this man. I do not have, I have no hate or hate against this man at all. But in my honest opinion, it just seemed like his main focus is black men need to do all this work to help the black woman, right? And stop dating other races. And I be saying, like, first off, even in the inner cities and in most areas, most black men are still dating black women, right? There's only a few men that are not doing that, like statistically, right? And now they're coons because they just went to a woman that cared about them. Not all of them, obviously, but most black men will date a woman that cares about them, right? So if they're not getting love in their own communities, not all of them, a lot of black men are still dating black women. But if there's a few that's not getting that love, they're going to just date somebody who's giving them the love, right? And another thing is too, I noticed that what Dr. Umar does is he gasses up black women a lot. Like he'll say all this, he'll gas the crap out of them, right? And I don't think that's right. Like why are you putting women on a mountaintop? You know what I mean? Like, and putting men they gotta climb to keep y'all up at the mountaintop and hold it. I don't like that because you're basically saying that the black woman went through so much that she deserves the world. When it's like, okay, well, yes, black women have went through a lot, black men have went through a lot, but to gas up that community, like of just, oh yeah, the men need to do this for the black woman. The society needs to do this for the black man. No. What we need to do is we need to understand our rights and our wrongs, know who we are as a black American people, because I don't even claim Pan-Africanism. I'm sorry, I just don't do that. Right? I'm considered what they call Hebrew. A black Hebrew, right? Now it's not religion, it's a culture. And I be telling people, like, I'm not a movement in Africa, bro. I'm in America right now trying to help the black community know their identity. That's it. So again, with Dr. Umar, I don't hate this man. There's no negativity. This is just my thoughts about him and what I think about him when I listen to his stuff, and people can disagree with me, that's fine. But in my honest opinion, it's mainly just what I've seen. Gassing up black women, right? And I love black women, right? But it's mainly just gassing up black women and telling black men that they a bunch of coons and dating snow bunnies when the majority of black men aren't even doing that. That's the irony of it, so.
I can't tell you all that I'm unstable. I can't tell you all that I once went to the mental hospital for 2 months. I can't tell you all the details of that. I can't tell you how scary I was at that moment. That when the police came and found me, they took me away in chains. Ladies and gentlemen, reason with me. Walk down this short walkway with me. We've seen black people get arrested all the time. It's the national pastime. Find the black man and arrest him. Who did you see get taken away in chains? Do you know the violence that will prompt the cops to remember that they too have a 401k and that there's that qualified immunity money, and there's the fact that their baby, their little one that they call Bunny, is only 3, and they kind of want to see Bunny grow up until she's 13, 30, and 33. They want to marry Bunny off, and they realize that if they die in the encounter with someone who's so dangerous in that moment, that they're not going to see Bunny turn 4. And so what they do is they opt to restrain with chains. When the police gently escorted David Faulks out of the building, they spoke to me for an hour. And at some point during the 1-hour interview, I don't know what happens to me. I don't know what that is. I was so upset by it because it made me look a certain way on their dash cam, on their, the body cam, but I couldn't control it. I felt a dump of something that made me begin to sob. And at the same time, sweat broke out all over me. My face, the back of my neck, under my clothes, sweat, just a dump of sweat. And also the shakes, uncontrollable shakes. And yet the technical part of my brain was like, oh, this looks so bad. This looks so bad. Now I look like a woman that can't control herself. Well, the horse had already run out of that barn. Just shaking. And my neighbor and her brother, they were there. They stayed by. The police tried to shoo them. Get out of here. This isn't a show. I said, don't talk to my neighbors like that. Because nobody knows what you two are capable of. You saw the size of the harm that got into the building. That guy lied. I keep forgetting to finish it off. When they were asking him, who are you? He said that he was my brother. He told them, I'm her brother. I'm her brother. So convincingly that I looked like the idiot screaming, you're not my brothers. I have brothers, but my brothers are not 6'7". They're not 6'7", and their eyes are a respectable distance together. I'm her brother. I'm her brother. He starts calling me by my name. I'm her brother. What are you doing here? He told these people that the family asked him to check on me. He told the cops that the family is worried about me and they sent him to check on me. And the cops listened to him and not to me screaming there. It's a lie. Don't believe him. It's a lie. And my neighbors are standing on the stairs confused. And one of them is like, she doesn't have a brother that comes here. And the cops are like, you be quiet. Bought his story hook, line, and sinker, and then said, well, it's apparent. It's apparent your sister doesn't want you here, so you're going to have to leave. So basically, they trespassed him out of the building as if we are estranged family, even though I was saying I have photographic evidence of this guy on my Ring camera earlier this morning. And then I also have text messages from yesterday where I told him specifically that I don't know him and he shouldn't come to the house. They trespassed him out of here like we're family that fell apart. And mom was worried about me. And she said, David, go check on your sister. Here, take some cheese and go and see your sister on the battlefield like David went to check on his brothers as they were fighting Goliath. We're worried about your sister.
So one thing I learned from seeing a lot of marriages is I see a lot of people getting married, right? And they are the ones ordaining it, but the Most High is not. And then you see a lot of unequally yoked marriages that now the scripture tells them that it's better to stay in it to not have a change of heart. And then I see other people who, when they get married, now they're dealing with a lot of spiritual warfare, a lot of spiritual attack and all these things, and they're not in alignment. So my recommendation, right, is did Yahuwah himself ordain it? Because I always tell people, if Yahuwah ordains your marriage, you know that you're not going to leave that person and that person is not going to leave you because Yahuwah knows that's the perfect fit for you, right? Whereas a lot of people, they can say that they believe in the Most High, but they'll marry somebody else who probably believes in the Most High too, but they weren't the right fit for each other. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the right Tetris piece or the right puzzle piece. You will start to realize that you will naturally be in unison with that person, and vice versa. The woman will just naturally submit because not only does she feel safe and secure around you, but she will also feel like this person is for me because he's for Yahuwah.
He told the police that he was my brother. He asked the police in front of me, why are you acting like this? Why are you acting like you don't know me, sis? I said to my mom later, this is how the movies leave the movies and this is how girls die. And she said, sweetheart, my heart is flying out of my chest. This is how the movies leave the movies and come to your house. And this is how girls die. This is how Gabby Petito died. Let me put a name out there that will explode like a bomb in the majority demographic. This is how Gabby Petito died. We have live footage from the cops' cam of them seeing Gabby Petito in the wake of domestic violence. He had slapped her around good. He had been slapping on her at a gas station, and people filling their gas were like, hey, And they noted the minivan number, and they called it in. There's a man domestically abusing a girl at this thing, and they're about to leave. They're filling up, about to leave. We're at this gas station. It's a minivan. It's white. It's this. It's that. He was slapping on her in public because that's how the fairy tale starts. He wasn't slapping on her when he first met her. He wasn't slapping on her when he came upon that happy little girl, vlogging her life away, getting ready to take a van trip, living her little vlogger life, so happy in her earlier videos, and then quiet and more solemn, because when a man slaps you after a while, what's there to be happy about?
Hey, we got a call about a male hitting a female and the two of them getting in this vehicle and taking off.
So I don't want to try and defend myself by saying anything here, but I pushed her away. She gets really worked up, and when she does, she swings, and she had her cell phone in her hand, so I was just trying to push her away.
He said that he never saw the male strike the female. He saw the male trying to lock her out of the vehicle. She even told us that he was trying to lock her out, told her to go take a walk.
What'd you say?
What were they doing?
We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
He was slapping her?
Yes, and then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in the car, and they drove off.
Okay, you said it's a white van?
Now there's body cam video that shows the moments after police were called.
What's going on? How come you're crying?
I'm just crying. We've just been fighting this morning.
I watched my daughter looking frightened to death. That's when I realized that things were way worse than I could have imagined.
Where did he hit you? No, don't worry. Hang on. You slapped your face or what?
Because of him.
I'm fine. I love you. I wish you didn't have too many complaints about me.
To see the distress my daughter was in and then laughing and joking around.
Yeah, do you know if she talks to any? She's just crazy.
So I just got a phone with one of the two witnesses telling me that she is the primary aggressor.
Today we're here to talk about Gabby. Gabby was is a resident of Northport, and Northport is a close-knit community where what happens is felt by all. We are here today to provide an update to Gabby Petito, who was reported missing on September 11th, 2001. In June of 2021, Gabby and her fiance embarked on a cross-country trip with plans to travel across the West Coast and visit state national parks in the western United States. They were traveling in Gabby's 2012 white Ford van and documented their journey on YouTube and social media. We have a picture of the white Ford van that they were traveling in. She maintained regular contact with her family members during her travels. However, that communication abruptly stopped around the end of August. Gabby is a vibrant 22-year-old with a love for life and adventure. She's a daughter, a sister, and a granddaughter. She was excited to share her cross-country trek with others on social media and with her family. Gabby's family and those in the community here and in North who know and care for her are hoping for answers about her whereabouts. We have investigators working diligently around the clock, as well as with the FBI. The FBI is present here today to show their solidarity and commitment to this investigation.
The attorney for the Petito family that the remains found in Wyoming have been positively identified belonging to Gabby Petito. We knew that that autopsy was being performed today, and now we have the news that clearly we all knew was coming.
They get so comfortable abusing you that the next step is your death, and some of you still stay. I'm not shaming you. I'm not blaming you. I know how hard it is to run away when you've got those kids. But you're not even trying to reach out to anyone. You're not even trying to make your video and put his whole government name outside. David Anthony Faulks, 28 years old, 6'7". Dreams of Yah TikTok channel, at Dreams of Yah YouTube channel. Stalker extraordinaire. My husband by force and by fire. The group chat king. Come get your wife. Sorry I misbehaved yesterday, honey. I don't know what got into me. I think it was the fact that when the police came, that was the first time I felt brave enough to step outside. And how shocked I was to see that when you were sitting in the stairs, you blocked the entire stairs with your size. And that must be why when I called my neighbor finally, as the cops were on the way, and I said, I can hear a voice rumbling that's been rumbling just in the stairs outside. Is there a guy there? He goes, yeah, there's a really big guy there that's been in the building since morning. Why? Do you know him? I said, I've never seen the guy in my life. He said, what? This is crazy. What's he doing in here? I said, I think he got into the building somehow. This is because people, with everything going on with the night before, with us trying to find out who he was on March the 5th, I only went to bed at 6 a.m. At 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m., he showed up here in the rain, was ringing the doorbell cam. I'll drop the camera footage. He stopped for a while, so I sat on the couch and thought maybe he'll go away because it's a working day. I need to go to work. He didn't go away. He was back in a short while, ringing the bell again. This time I went to the bell with my phone and I taped it, and I kept taping it until the ring camera went off. Then I saw him go down the stairs and walk away, and I thought, whew, close call. Let me try and get a few more hours of sleep, because I only had 2 hours of sleep by then. 6:30 to 8:30, 8:39-ish is when he showed up. So I thought, let me get a few more hours of sleep, and then I'll get up and I'll go to work. And I fell into the deepest sleep. God told me to tell you everything, actually. And it's well known here that I dream. I don't need to make up dreams. It's well known here that I dream and that God shows me my own life and your lives too in my dreams. 2 things were happening as I slept. As I slept, he came back and he somehow gained access to the building. He was bragging in the group chat, somebody let me in. Nobody let you in. What happened is you just hung around, determined that you weren't going to waste your plane ticket, like you told me in the text message. I didn't come 7 to 10 hours. I didn't come 7 to 10 hours for you to start acting like them. Them out there, be warned. Them out there, be warned. I'm so disappointed. Then he went to the group chat. She misbehaved. She hurt my soul by telling you to get away from me, by telling you that you're a nasty creeper. You are a nasty creeper. She hurt my soul. How do you come from how do you crawl out of the woodwork and expect a warm welcome? Why do you men do that? What makes you think that because we're all in Christianity together, that when you break every law in the book and you get scary, that somehow Jesus becomes a motivation for us to say, well, brothers in the Lord, brothers and sisters in the Lord, nothing is scary in Christ. You're terrifying in Christ. You beat us to death in Christ. You murder us in Christ. And our hopeless pastors who told us, don't leave him, work it out. The Lord hates divorce. The Lord also hates premature burials. The Lord hates rape in marriage. The Lord hates domestic violence. Male pastors, update your codex. You're useless and you're killing God's daughters. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I see a lot of men trying to force women using the word submission to get them to submit. And I also see a lot of women using the word provision to force men to provide. And the whole honest truth is, because y'all are doing it out of force, y'all are not trying to submit and provide for the other person. I've noticed that when I really care about somebody and they've treated me like a man, I would like to provide for them. I would like to do whatever I can to make sure they're safe and secure. Vice versa, a lot of women, when they're treated right, when they're respected, when they're valued and looked at as humans,
they found him. They found his face. So at least I had a face. And I yelled on PayPal, How dare you? I would never disrespect you. I respect women. Then respect women by getting away from them when they tell you the first time, leave me alone. Get off my phone. The more I say get off my phone, he's encouraged. You will be delivered from that spirit of offense. What spirit of offense? Don't get it confused. I hate you. I hate men that force women. I hate men that force women physically in the bed in marriages. I hate them that force them verbally. I hate them that force them through intimidation, pressure. I hate you that keeps getting sex from your baby mama because you know she's so broke. She's so broke she can't even start the child support case. And so you use the child support money to try and get one more time in bed with her. I hate you. I despise you because the Bible tells us to hate what God hates, and what you do is unjust weights and measures. It's unjust weights and measures. You use your height, you use your body size, you use your wallet. Kevin Samuels died, but he spat into a lot of your vessels, and you're as filthy as if he was still alive and making videos. His videos are still alive, poisoning a whole generation of people. And the other bald-headed ones, the Tate brothers, your vessels have been spat into. You're defiled. Jesus would never smile on you. You're hateful. Don't comfort yourself out there, David Faulks. Had the nerve to tell me, had the nerve to tell the group chat, she has a spirit of offense. This is after he's been yelled at on March the 5th. He's been yelled at that he won't come to my house. Me thinking he's minutes from here. It's almost 6 o'clock. It's almost 6 o'clock. He said he'd be here between 5 and 6. Don't come near me. Don't come near me. If you come near me, I'll call the cops, saying whatever I could. Because what can you do, really? What can you do? What can you do? Literally. Excuse me. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. A little shocked. What do you mean? The princess isn't telling him that she's waiting for him to bring fresh elk? The elk he hunted by himself in the forest as he was dreaming of his Disney princess. Who was doing what? Who was sitting here eating soup and singing along to the Prince of Egypt?
Many people struggle with the meaning of this common English word. So for the sake of clarity, here's a few examples of what no doesn't mean. Yes. Ask me again. Don't listen to me, and just do it anyway. Now let's test your knowledge. I'm going to say no to you, and I'll wait for your response. No. Did you get that? The correct answer was, okay.
You give demons attention, they swell. That's why I wouldn't have made this video. I said, no, can't give this guy this attention. My pastor was like, you're going to put him everywhere. You're going to make an example. You're going to make a deterrent. You're going to expose this. And that one wise woman's voice, thank you to that woman. Prophet Celestial, we don't cover Satan's secrets. And I always say that. Said Satan will isolate you and then thrive and do stuff to you in darkness. She's not overjoyed to see me. She has a spirit of offense. She has to be delivered. I have to be delivered from the lust that looks at my face all day long when I'm here talking holy things, and lust is looking at me and plotting my future with lust without my permission. That's what I need to be delivered from. I need to be delivered from the internet. I don't need to be delivered from offense. I don't think that there's a woman born of woman who would not be offended that a man was inviting himself into her city, into her borough, into her building. The group chat, hey, how do you know the flow? How do you know the right floor, bro? How do you know the right building? I have my ways. They'll brag on you. They'll brag on you, and then you'll end up in the back of somebody's car, being driven around like that superstar that was driving around the girl that he killed until she rotted, until she started smelling in the car. Then he goes, kills her. Then he goes and starts making songs about your hair, and you looked so still, and the smell of the blood.
In a leaked song, singer David professes his love for someone called Celeste, which is also the same name of the 15-year-old girl that was found dead and dismembered in the trunk of his Tesla. This story is absolutely awful. Celeste had been missing since April 2024, and her mother said she had a boyfriend called David. And not only was Celeste's now identified dismembered body found in the trunk of David's car while he was on tour, but now a song of David's that leaked in December 2023 has lyrics that refers to a girl called Celeste. He sings, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest, smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath, I'm obsessed. Oh Celeste, afraid you'll only love me when undressed, but you look so damn gorgeous in that dress."
I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. I hate you.
Other information has surfaced online, like this photograph of David in Lake Elsinore, which was taken only a few minutes away from where Celeste was living with her family before she disappeared. Another photograph circulating on the internet shows David in a photo with a girl that a lot of people believe is Celeste, but this has not been confirmed yet by authorities. It was also discovered that David has a shush tattoo on his right index finger, which you can see here if you take a closer look, which is a similar shush tattoo that authorities and Celeste's mother said that she also had. And while these all could just be coincidences, there seems to be a lot of coincidences stacking up. David, who is currently in the midst of his tour, cancelled his show in Seattle and is said to be on his way back to Los Angeles. A spokesperson for David has said he's been informed of what's happened and he is cooperating with authorities.
I wanted you to feel the emotion in this part of the song, not just to repeat the hook, but to say it in a different manner with the same feeling that the first part of it conveyed, which was in the back of my mind, but then you think that I'm gonna say you died, but I say I killed you. So it's not like the thought of her is gone by itself was something that she did, it was something that I decided to do.
We're in the closing seconds of humanity, and Satan is the umpire of the game. Women, be careful. Bro code will kill you. But one young man valued my life. One young man was able to look at me and say, nah. Nah, this is God's thing. This woman is no. No. Sister Celestial, you're in danger. Sister Celestial, please. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was going to go this far. One young man. I can't hate you. I'm not even mad at you. All of us at Master's Voice are grateful to you that you know the difference between bro code and harm. That you are spiritually mature enough to tell the difference, that you know how to draw the line. That you thought you were just speaking to a friend, but you didn't actually know that you were being manipulated, the way that some people did not know that this guy was reaching out to everybody in the supposed network that he could find, manipulating his way onto the stage of the School of the Hebrews. Sitting there, this type of person loves to announce themselves before the time. They even love to announce themselves when God is never going to announce them. God is never going to announce what's unclean. What is there for God to announce when you steal dreams and repeat and copy them and parrot them verbatim? He reached out to everybody that he thought knew me or could get him a direct. When the emails weren't getting noticed, and when the $1 and $2.75 PayPals that he then used, because PayPal allows you to send a message with the gift. I did not know how many intensely personal, crossing the line messages this man was sending me. Oblivious. Why? Because I never stepped here one day asking for your money. I'm not pocket watching what you give me. I'm grateful, and I am known for saying thank you every single time individually in the beginning. You would get a message. You would get an email from me. Thank you. But we're thousands strong now. And all I do is occasionally I will say, and I haven't forgotten, thank you for supporting me. When the immense sums of money, when the Birkin bag money wasn't getting my attention, along with the absolutely inappropriate stuff that he was sending me on PayPal, it was time to take this thing up a notch. It was time to take it up a notch. Because lust gets frustrated when you don't pay attention to it. How can I tell her how tall I am, how big I am? She's blocked me. Without even knowing it, I had blocked him. Probably for some constant annoyance, I had blocked him everywhere. I'd blocked him on TikTok. I'd blocked him on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook. I'd blocked him on YouTube. How can my soul be tormented when I'm trying to do God's work? How can you as a nation keep trying to scratch my face as I'm trying to keep at least some of you from drowning? Where's the sense in that? Every day I come here, she's like this and she's like that, and I think she's this and I think she's that. Who asked you? Who asked you what you think? Do you know how you exhaust my human soul? Who cares what you think? I don't care. God doesn't care. If God cared, I wouldn't be here. Like, it's so simple. 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2, 4. It's not that hard. If you were loved, I wouldn't be here. If you were loved, David Wilkerson would still be alive. He would be here preaching to you glorious sermons of victory into the end times. But he died brokenhearted because America's full of donkeys, mules. And who's not a donkey, who's not a mule, is a snake. And who's not a snake is just a poor child of God struggling in here, being cursed, being hated, being picked up like a bag of potatoes and carried out of the false churches for speaking up. Longest running comedy show in history, United States of America. The snakes, the donkeys, the mules, and the poor Christians fighting it out inside the WWE arena of stalkers. He reached out to everybody. He reached out to everybody. Pretended. I'm an apostolic. I'm just like celestial. Be so wary of these people that want to wear your skin. Everything you like, he knows it already. You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious. We click. We don't click. You met him today. He's known you for 8 months. Your Facebook is easier to read than Braille. He knows you. Be careful when they want to wear your skin. I'm just like Celestial. Every text message, Celestial and I. What is Celestial and I when I didn't know that you existed? Until March the 4th, March the 5th. When I didn't know that you were breathing air. Until 24, 48, maybe 52 hours ago. When my pastors were praying for me. Ping. Ping. Hi. I'm landing in Queens now, but I'll be heading to Brooklyn in an hour. I should be there between 5 and 6. Ladies, gentlemen, fathers. I have a father. I have a dad. I'll be there between 5 and 6. Did we have plans? Did we have plans? Do I know you, freak? Did we have plans? I'll be there between 5 and 6. Between 5 and 6. My overseers are on the line. Now, Celestial, repeat these prayer points after me. ABC, ABC. Celestial, DEF, XYZ. Why? Because my brains are scrambled. As I'm wondering who will be there? Who is this? Who are you? It's me. It's me. Who's me? Get off my phone. I'm trying to block. Demons are real. Demons are very real. The way I tell you that the police switched up on me in this place, they shouted at me and treated that guy like the prodigal son coming home who just entered the wrong building and thought that was his home. And walked him out while screaming at me, barricading me behind the foyer door. Then came back with their brains reset when the thing that was disturbing, the demonic thing that was disturbing the atmosphere, when it was out of the building, then they came back and their brain was like, ma'am, can you tell us what happened? I thought I was having a Twilight Zone episode, and I don't even watch the Twilight Zone because that's scary for me. I thought that I was in a parallel dimension. You walked the danger out of here, and then you come back completely reset to ask me what happened? Now you want to see evidence? Now you want to see the messages that this person was sending me, telling me I'm coming. I don't listen to man. I listen to God. It's in God's hands now. I'm looking at the PayPals later. I'm looking at the PayPals post encounter. It's in God's hands now. I'm coming. Take it up with Yah. Because, that's the thing with Yah. He's just this brute beast. He's just this unhinged person who likes to impersonate being the father who has raised me almost in his armpit. The way a man carries his favorite goat in the Old Testament is the way he's raised me in his armpit. And it's to this woman someone is telling, you can't tell me not to come to your house. I already came this way. You're gonna see me. God left you and came to me to tell me that you belong to me effectively. I'm coming. Ready or not, here I come. Hulk is in the building. Hulk is in the building. Reaches out to everybody in my life, embarrassing my soul, sending delusional dreams, cooked up in the furnace of a mind on drugs. Medication is still drugs, especially when the state says you have to take it for 4 years. This person found their way into my life. Not my life, not with my knowledge. Found their way into my circle. Found their way to the people that know me. Went on Pastor Omar's stage to appear legitimate, to look legitimate. One of his first messages when he reached out to someone that he knew is in Master's Voice circle, Master's Voice team. One of the first things was like, School of the Hebrews? School of the Hebrews? Yeah. I need to reach out. I mean, you don't get more manipulative and planning than that. Don't ever let somebody gaslight you and tell you, I was doing it for myself. No. I said they will find out where your grandma volunteers at the shelter. They will find out where your mother's book club is and dress up like a delivery driver to deliver free cake to those women. Took himself to the man of God's church to sit himself on the man of God's stage to appear as something that he absolutely is not. Because there's a kind of person out there that creates the fantasy. Creating the fantasy is not enough. You need to now live it. Because you see, when you meet the object of the fantasy, then you can say, remember you spoke about Pastor Omar? I went there. I went to the man of God's church. I've been there. Here's the video about me doing it. You know that thing you said? I know it. You know that dream you had? I had it. I learned all this on the back end. Scrambling with legs like a duck. You know how they say the duck just glides over the water, but underneath the water, the duck's legs are paddling like mad to give it what? To give it propulsion. Me and the Master's Voice team have been scrambling on the back end to find out who is this? Who motivated this person? What motivated this person? Oh, this person has had a fantasy that he's been building for a year. When I found out that he has another email, we took the second email and I ran it through my email. Ooh, that's where all the dreams popped up. I held you around your waist. I held you here. You laughed. You enjoyed it. You thought it was great. You laughed. You laughed so much in my presence. I'm not laughing now, weirdo. I'm not offended either. You're not going to be able to put that narrative out into the street. And she needs deliverance. I need deliverance from you. There's too many of you. I'm actually terrified that there's a whole family of roaches where you came from, because I've never seen a solo roach. Roaches don't roll alone. Roaches roll in a group. You had a group of roaches. Some of them may not have known just who you are because they're new to the faith. You brought them in. You baptized some of them. They encouraged you. You were so persuasive that either they believed you. One of them made you an offer. I have skills. I have land. If she accepts you, I'll build her a house. You, that man that just came to the faith, I'm talking to you directly. You don't know anything if you just got baptized. You're new to this. I'm true to this. We don't find Christ Jesus through the crazy. If you want to know what Jesus is saying, open your Bible. That's something I've been telling these people for the whole time that I've been here. To you, the friends of David, that encouraged him, that saw nothing wrong with a man just casually chatting to you that he's coming to see me uninvited. You thought nothing of it. You didn't think of your mother. You didn't think of your sister. You didn't think of any woman in your life and ask yourself, how would I feel if she told me a man came to her apartment without asking? How would I take that as a man? No, to all of you who try to pretend that this is Disney and that the prince can come to the princess's house and just say some nonsense out of the bowels of what Yah showed me is rooted in lust, demonic persuasion, and evil intent. To all of you naked Adams who participated, who encouraged, who gave him the money to buy the ticket. He didn't have money to buy a ticket. You gave it to him. Look at my face. Let God repay you accordingly for trying what you tried with me. Whether you tried it by proxy. You thought you were encouraging bro. So if bro's crazy, you'll just encourage bro. You just big up bro. Go on bro, go get your love. Doesn't matter what the love wants. Doesn't even matter if the love could have had someone in her life. I do not, but I could have. Doesn't matter what the love's got going on. You've seen the love. You've watched enough videos. You are downloading nothing but demonic lies from the air. The prince of the power of the air. That's who's talking to you is definitely not my Father, Jesus Christ. Because he would never hand me over to you like a cheap basket of tomatoes. Tell you, that's yours. Go get that. Jesus could never tell you all the things you were saying about me and then suddenly tell you, no, my son, I've changed. I actually brought you to see her demons up close. Her spirit of offense is not spirit of offense. It's because never in a trillion years. Because I yelled. I had to yell because you're crazy. To all of you, let the Lord repay you according to the dirtiness of your hands, to the fact that you don't respect women, and not just any woman, but a woman in my position before the Lord, kneeling before God, and then you want to come and fall upon me when I'm kneeling. Let God give it back to you in spades. I think she wants me. Look at how hard she's been pushing marriage. J for Jesus. She wants me. Why else would she push it unless she was low key, lonely? She wants me to come out. I think she wants me to come out. I think she's ready. Seems like you're ready. From heaven. Celestial. You told the people that there's gold in this year. Put this platform there. Show them that it's an outlet. Those who are interested, let them flow that way. Let them flow that way. Let them know that I'm a God of more than one thing. I can bomb New York City. I can destroy California. I can tear the Great Lakes region open in the middle. I can send a bullet into the White House. I can disrupt the chain of continuity. I can create the black horse across the United States and slowly choke their economy until they won't be able to get a job picking beans. And I'm talking about the Harvard professors. I can snatch their children out of their hands using the Guadalupe River. And I can do a couple connections. I can give a couple marriages this year. Tell the people to come up higher, Celestial. Tell the people there's a baseball coming at their face. Well, one has hit me in the eye. Baseball came at me. Baseball came at me too fast. It hit me in my sinuses. In my dream, I was laying on my couch. And in reality, I was laying on my couch. That's where I just dropped off from the frustration of the day, finding out who's this person. And all the information was coming in. My intercessor, she's the one who dug it all up. Here's his platform. Here's his platform. He made it to yes, he went to Pastor Omar's church, woman of God. He went to Pastor Omar's church. It's like, okay, all right, that's really odd, but okay. I fall asleep at 6:30. I have to do my own work, do some things. I fall asleep at 6:30. At 8:30, there's the interaction on the ring cam. I film it, and then I think to myself, 2 hours of sleep is not enough to go to work on. I will surely have a crash there. Because I'm thinking when I saw him walk away on the ring cam, I thought he's gone. Let me grab 3 more. 3 more, 2 plus 3 is 5. I'll be good, plus coffee. I can make it at work. I fall asleep, and somewhere during the sleep, I have this dream, and in this dream, I'm sleeping on my couch. And a man comes to the fire escape. A man comes to the fire escape, and against all personal rules, my windows are unlocked. Instead of the latches being turned sideways for locked, they're turned front like this. And a man comes to the window and goes, "Oh, so you are here. Okay." And then he begins to lift the windows. And as he's grappling at the bottom to hold the window thing to lift it, the dream camera zooms in on the latches that are turned like this for open instead of sideways for shut. And when I see that, my sleeping self sees that, and my sleeping self thinks that can never happen. The windows are always locked because of the fire escape. Always locked. If I open it for air, I'm sitting there as the air is coming in. I'm not, And then when I've had enough air, then I can go out or something. But God zooms in to show me the windows are unlocked. And then he begins to lift, and I spring off the couch wearing exactly what I was wearing in real life. I spring off the couch and I run to the window. And now it's a situation between a huge man pulling up a window, which for a man is just like curling a barbell, and me trying to put my body on the top and press down the window. And it's not working. Our strength is not easily matched. The window is going up inch by inch by inch by inch by inch. And me realizing this window is about to come open, the screen after it is about to come open. This person is about to get into my apartment. I have no choice. I don't like to do futile things. I don't like futility. It's futile to fight in an arena where you're outmatched. I abandon the window and I begin to run across my apartment. I'm not living in the Taj Mahal. I'm not living in Trump Towers. This is an ordinary sized apartment. I should be able to cross it in a couple of steps. This apartment is like the track and field. I'm literally running. And as I'm running, a voice begins to come out of the man that God is depicting in the window. That is this David guy. I don't need to make up anything to make this interaction with you, internet, more sober. If you sit here and know me as the dreaming woman who can dream about Iran and Russia and everything else, then respect me at least to know that Jesus can narrow the camera down to my own life. When I sit here and I say I have my own dreams, they're not an invitation to you, David, that I'm hiding the identity of you that I secretly love. This man in the window begins to say, I just need something. I just need something. I'm not leaving until I get something. And he begins to come in through this window, putting his leg. This window is difficult even for me to get through. But he's folding himself, and the voice is different from a human being. It is a demon's voice. I did the demon's voice in the video in my teaching that is called Passengers, when I was telling people how dangerous it is to underestimate demons, how dangerous it is to be next to demonized people. I don't care if it's your mother right now. You better anoint the bedroom that you sleep in, and you better make sure that there is an area sealed off by the Holy Spirit, that every time she claims she wants to come and check your room, every time she claims she wants to come and clean your room, the thing in her is repulsed by the perimeter that you've set, and she will curse and curse and curse, but she won't come in. When they're enraged like that, the light of Christ in you is burning them. You should worship and praise more in your room to pump up, like to pump up inner power, and then just release it. Excuse me, please. He's coming in and he's doing that voice. I just need something. I need to leave with something. And then he says, God help my soul. It won't hurt. I'll do it fast. I won't hurt you. I promise it'll be quick. I'm not going to hurt you. I'll do it so that you won't feel pain. This thing added fuel to the running. I began to run like a track and field star at the upcoming Olympics that wants to get the gold, bronze, and the silver. But I tripped. I fell in the dream. And by this time, he had gotten all the way through. And in the dream, on that couch, I was soaked in terror. I woke up with sweat. He was like, it won't hurt. I'll do it so that it won't hurt you too much. And I couldn't get up and I couldn't make my door in time. I didn't even make my door to unlock it. Meanwhile, this person is just outside, but I am knocked out in sleep. And then when I wake up and I want to tell my intercessor, I had this dream because I'm not thinking there's anybody outside. As I want to contact her is when I began to hear this deep rumbling voice outside. Deep rumbling voice. I pick up my phone and then I'm like, have you found out anything else? And she's like, no, woman of God, I'm still trying to get a bead on identity. I'm still trying to get a bead on motive and everything like that. And then I look at my phone and I see that this person that I blocked on PayPal the night before has made a brand new PayPal, and the new PayPal messages are telling me, I'm done talking. I'm done playing these name calling games with you. I don't listen to man. I only listen to God. You're going to see me. You should never assume. I teach my intercessors. I say the facts that you supply into a situation is how somebody will identify you at the morgue. What do you mean, woman of God? If the facts are ABC, then the facts are ABC. Nobody asked you for D, E, F up to J. Nobody asked you for that. That's assumption. That's presumption. And someone will identify you at the morgue. Or at least someone will take you through your healing journey. I said if the facts are A, B, there's no C, there's D, there's no E, then the facts are ABD. You do not look at facts that are ABD and start supplying C and E just because you learned the alphabet and you know that C is missing and E is missing. You do that, somebody will identify you at the morgue. Somebody will have to come and say, that's my baby. That's the mole on her chest, on her collar, but that's Cynthia. Don't do that to your family. Have brains. Have some brains. Now that you know that you can be keeping your risk between 0 and 10 and the risk will come to you and bring the 90 to you, have some brains and try and bring it down to 0 to 10. And then Jesus will protect even when they're bringing the 90, Jesus will do something. Jesus will make them drop a text message so that you can find their face. And then when you have their face, when you see the face on the dash cam, on the camera, then you'll know not to go outside. You will agree to sit in your house like a captive. Jesus will do that for you. What did I say some time ago? I said that they will fit you for an orange jumpsuit, but what you leave with the woman, sometimes it can't be fixed. Sometimes it's a healing journey. Sometimes she's dead. And you still get to wear the orange jumpsuit and have meals. So, this guy came here and I experienced something very odd. I was sweating from the top to the bottom of my body. And the cops who had been yelling at me earlier literally were looking at me and they said, and the woman at least said, I'm so sorry, dear. This is now the shock setting in. My neighbors brought me water. The water was just like you want to put the bottle at your mouth and you're just giving yourself a water mustache because your hand is refusing. Your brain is like, look at how you look. Because I have a technical brain. Look at how you look. Look at how you look to the people now. And my body's like, forget you. Forget about you right now, brain. Because I'm pumped full of a chemical that came into me because someone always almost made it to the door. If God had not made that man to say, I'm here and I'm coming and I'll be there. If God had not caused that man to contact me, I never would have had a reason to ask the team, who is this? And then the team would not have looked and found me a face. And if I didn't have that face, and I'd woken up in the morning and somebody buzzed my buzzer, I would have thought, that's not delivery. And I would have gone back to bed. And 10 minutes later, when he buzzed again, I would have thought, oh, it must be somebody's brother trying to get into the building. Yeah, that's not for me. That's not for me. I'm going to catch a few Z's and I'll go to work. And then if I didn't have that face and I would have thought, that's somebody's brother, but I don't buzz people in, I would have slept. I'd have gotten dressed. I would have thought nothing of the voice that was in the hallway when I was getting dressed. I would have opened the door and would have walked right into the arms of my beloved. It's me. It's your husband. You don't recognize me. It's your husband. I would have walked right into the arms of my surprise engagement that had nothing to do with me. My husband that I never picked. My husband that if it was only the two of us on this earth, then I guess the earth would never again be seeded with the flesh of man. I had a terrible, I don't know if it's called a adrenaline response. I just know that it was terrible. I had to tell my friends. I had to tell my family what happened to me. And now I have to tell the whole internet what happened to me. That if one person can tighten the screws in her brain just a little bit tighter than they are right now, kind of loose, kind of flapping, and mine are wound so tight already that they're about to snap off, but keeping them tight still didn't protect me. Keeping them tight just still didn't stop someone from looking at me on the internet and deciding, I want that. I deserve that. That's mine. I'm going to go get it. If she misinterprets me coming, that's her problem. Ladies, it's your problem when you don't want them. It's your problem when you freak out. It's your problem when there's blood in your nose after the stress response, whatever that horrible feeling that I experienced was. Because all of you are just rapists and murderers at heart. You don't even know the spirit, you that do this, showing up at doors, showing up at jobs, showing up at people's weddings because they told you no, to take them out of this world because they decided not to settle with you. So you decided if it can't be you, then it's Jesus or hell, wherever they're going, if they're saved or not. Why you didn't go to test a man? Because that testosterone and that little Twinkie between your legs makes all of you think that we are lesser beings. All of you who do this, all of you who encourage them in it, all of you who cover them in it, you're all the same person rolled up into one detestable thing that is naked Adam, the one who forgets to cover. prophecies you need to look at are called, I will humble you, the wicked lesson that men will teach in these end times. And the other one is called Safety First. Every woman and parent must watch this video with teaching on faith and the blood. Make sure you watch these two videos. I'm going to leave them in the description box. And to that young man who broke bro code, I hope God gives you the love of your life, because I know you can protect her. I hope he gives you, if you don't yet have a wife, if you don't yet have a family, I hope that God remembers you with a thing that will cause you to shine every morning when you look at her, because she can know that she has a guardian in the house who will never prefer, he won't be male-centered. He won't prefer men over her. He'll know that when a man leaves his mother and father and cleaves to his bride, he's not the kind of man to boast in the group chat, oh, I love being a husband, and then what you are is a stalker. Husbands don't stalk, by the way. At least not the one that God will give me. He won't stalk me. That one won't climb over the gates like a thief. He'll come through the front door of the sheepfold, and Jesus will meet him first. Praise God. To all of you who think that watching socials, watching women, clocking women, biding your time, and you get feverish in your brain until you start to think, yeah, it's time. It's time for us to meet. She's not picking up my cues. She's out of order. She's out of timing. She doesn't know what's up. The problem is you. That's my testimony against CHOKMAH Israel and against David Faulks. The Master's Voice is available on SoundCloud, Spotify. It's available. I'm not going to do that today. I'm sorry. I can't do that. The Master's Voice is available wherever you can listen or wherever you can watch. Go there and check. You might find my video. You might find my podcast there. To those of you who have TikTok, cut up this video and put it everywhere. Don't give those two men any rest. They're hungry for fame. They're lustful to be looked upon as spiritual leaders. But I tell you that inside the both of them, the vessel is not clean. And this Jesus that I know, the little that I know of Jesus, he can never pour out of his pure and Holy Spirit into unclean vessels. When you hear people and God and God and God, I told you that God and Jesus' name are two of the cheapest names on earth. Most powerful, most wonderful, but in the mouth of lying spirits, the most cheap. Everyone heard from God. Everyone has heard from God. You look at the fruits, you want to throw up in the shrubbery, in the bushes, just a little, to clear your bowels of the sick that you feel. Jesus' name is the easiest name to use, the cheapest name to use to cover uncleanness, to cover foul spirits, to cover demonic possession. I'm telling you, people, you need discernment. Thousands of you sitting on that man's platform, admiring a person who every time I prophesy, he pops up and I had this dream, and the dream is nothing but a rebaking of a dream that I'll be working on here for an hour and a half to make the people understand with scriptures. And yeah, I had this dream. We're in the flood, and it's just like Celestial's dream. How Celestial said, we're in the flood. Yeah, we're in the flood. And then he leaves out that, yeah, I was in the flood, and then I was holding her and she was holding on to me. I hold on to Jesus, friend. I got Jesus, friend. Thank you, friend. I got Christ. I'm good. I'm Celestial, and this is the Master's Voice. Until I see you again, goodbye.